Before we dive into today's story, if you love discovering the journeys of rising models and Instagram fashion influencers from around the world, make sure you subscribe to Sweet Models World. Here, we don't just talk about fashion, we tell the stories behind the faces, the confidence behind the camera, and the power behind the lifestyle. Now, imagine this. You're scrolling through Instagram late at night, your screen glowing in the dark, your mind tired from the same recycled trends, the same predictable poses, the same copy and paste influencer culture. Then suddenly you stop. Not because of a flashy brand name, not because of an expensive location, but because of something rarer, something deeper. A presence. A photo that doesn't just show an outfit, but shows attitude. A look that doesn't just sell fashion, but sells fearlessness. A vibe that feels like it came from someone who isn't trying to fit into the world, but someone who is daring the world to expand. That is exactly how many people first discovered Nicolan Escobar. Not as a celebrity pushed by mainstream media, not as a name printed on magazine covers everywhere, but as a rising digital force. A fashion influencer whose style feels like a statement, whose confidence feels contagious, and whose journey is quietly building momentum in the world of modern modeling and online fashion culture. This is not just a biography. This is the story of how a person can use fashion as a weapon, a voice, and a legacy. Because Nicolan Escobar represents something powerful, the new era of fashion influence. An era where you don't need a runway invitation to become a trendsetter. An era where your camera becomes your stage. An era where authenticity becomes your currency. And if you're watching right now, this story might inspire you more than you expect. Nicolan Escobar's rise is proof that fashion is no longer just about clothing. It's about identity. It's about energy. It's about the courage to show up in a world that constantly tells you to tone it down. And Nicolan did the opposite. Instead of toning it down, they turned it up. From the moment Nicolan began sharing fashion-forward looks online, their content carried a certain boldness. There was a confidence in the poses, a sharpness in the styling, and a strong visual personality that made people stop scrolling. Even when the outfits were simple, the way they were worn made them feel powerful. That's the difference between someone who wears fashion and someone who becomes fashion. Because Nicolan doesn't just put on clothes. Nicolan wears an idea, a mood, a message, a personal brand that feels fearless. And in the Instagram fashion world, fearlessness is everything. Social media is a battlefield of attention. Every second, millions of influencers are competing for visibility. Yet Nicolan Escobar's presence continues to grow because it feels real, not manufactured, not overly polished in a way that loses soul, but curated with personality. It's like every post is saying, "This is me, this is my world, and I'm not asking for permission." That kind of energy creates a following. Not just followers who like your photos, but followers who believe in your vibe. And slowly, Nicolan started becoming more than just another Instagram account. They started becoming a name. What makes Nicolan Escobar's story interesting is that it mirrors the journey of so many modern creatives today. People who didn't wait for someone to open the door. People who became the door. In traditional modeling, success often depends on agencies, gatekeepers, and industry approval. But Nicolan belongs to the new generation of models and influencers who understand that the world has changed. Today, your portfolio can be digital. Your runway can be the street. Your magazine cover can be your Instagram feed. And your agency can be your own confidence. That is the era Nicolan is building in. And it's not easy. Because behind every perfect Instagram post is time, effort, planning, and emotional strength. Behind every confident picture is someone who has faced insecurity. Behind every bold fashion choice is someone who once questioned if they were enough. That's what people don't talk about. They see the photos, but they don't see the process. They see the results, but they don't see the pressure. They see the beauty, but they don't see the battles. And that's why Nicolan's journey deserves attention. Because becoming an influencer isn't just about dressing well. It's about consistency. It's about showing up even when no one is clapping. It's about believing in your vision even when the algorithm doesn't reward you immediately. Nicolan Escobar's growth is a reminder that success in fashion influence isn't built overnight. It's built post by post, look by look, moment by moment. And with every upload, Nicolan has shaped an identity that feels unique. The fashion choices stand out because they don't feel like they're trying too hard. There's a natural confidence in the styling, whether it's streetwear-inspired, edgy, clean, or experimental. Nicolan's fashion sense gives off the impression of someone who understands aesthetics, understands angles, and understands what makes an image speak. Because fashion isn't just what you wear. Fashion is what you communicate. And Nicolan communicates boldness. There's also something cinematic about Nicolan's visual presentation. The lighting, the expressions, the locations, the way the outfits are captured, it all feels like part of a larger story. Like you're not just seeing random pictures, but chapters of a journey. That's what separates influencers from true fashion storytellers. Some people post for attention. Others post with intention. And Nicolan Escobar clearly posts with intention. Over time, this kind of consistency builds something more valuable than fame. It builds influence. And influence is powerful. Because influence doesn't just inspire what people wear. It inspires how people feel. It inspires confidence. It inspires self-expression. It inspires others to be bolder in their own identity. That's why Nicolan's story resonates beyond fashion. It touches something deeper. In a world that constantly pressures people to fit into boxes, Nicolan Escobar represents the freedom of breaking out of them. And that's why people connect. They don't just admire the looks. They admire the courage. Because being a fashion influencer means you are constantly visible, constantly judged, constantly compared. Social media can be brutal. It can praise you one day and ignore you the next. It can lift you up and tear you down in the same week. Yet Nicolan continues to show up. That alone is strength. There's something inspirational about someone who chooses to keep creating, keep posting, keep evolving, even when the world is unpredictable. And the truth is, fashion influencing is not always glamorous. Sometimes it's stressful. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it feels like you're screaming into a void. But Nicolan's steady presence shows resilience. And resilience is what builds long-term success. The more you study Nicolan's content, the more you realize the message is not just about beauty or style. It's about self-belief. It's about daring to be seen. It's about stepping into the light, even if you're afraid. And that's what makes Nicolan Escobar more than just a model or influencer. They represent the modern digital era, where individuality is becoming the most valuable trend. Because trends fade, but individuality lasts. And Nicolan's individuality is what makes their rise feel inevitable. In the influencer world, some people gain attention quickly, but they lose it just as fast because they have no identity. They chase every trend until they disappear into the crowd. But Nicolan's approach feels different. It feels personal. It feels like a signature. And when you have a signature style, people remember you. That's how brands begin to notice. That's how collaborations begin to form. That's how a social media presence becomes a real career path. Because fashion brands are no longer only looking for runway models. They're looking for people with influence, personality, and storytelling ability. They're looking for someone who doesn't just wear their clothing, but brings it to life. And Nicolan Escobar has that kind of presence. It's the presence of someone who understands that fashion is performance, that style is identity, that every photo is a message, and that message is loud. The message is, confidence is not given. It is built. That's why Nicolan's journey matters to so many young people watching from their phones. People who want to start modeling. People who want to become influencers. People who want to break into fashion but feel like the world is too competitive. Nicolan Escobar's rise shows that you don't need to wait for someone to validate you. You can start now. You can build your own audience. You can create your own brand. You can become your own success story. And the truth is, Nicolan is still on the rise. This is not a finished story. This is not a final chapter. It's still unfolding. The best moments may still be ahead. And that's what makes it exciting. Because when someone is building momentum, you can feel it. You can sense that they are approaching a breakthrough, that they are only one big opportunity away from stepping into a larger spotlight. And Nicolan Escobar is exactly in that zone. That zone where talent meets timing. That zone where consistency meets opportunity. That zone where a rising influencer transforms into a recognized fashion name. And if Nicolan continues with this energy, this dedication, and this fearless self-expression, there's no doubt that bigger doors will open. Because the world always makes room for people who refuse to shrink. Nicolan Escobar's story is a reminder that fashion is not about being perfect. It's about being bold enough to be yourself. It's about taking the parts of you that the world once questioned and turning them into your power. It's about standing in front of the camera and saying, "This is who I am," and letting the world adjust. That is the real power of fashion influence. Not just inspiring outfits, but inspiring people. And if you're listening right now, take this as motivation. You don't have to be famous to start. You don't have to have money to have style. You don't have to be known to be impactful. You just have to be consistent. You just have to be fearless. You just have to keep showing up. Because the world rewards people who don't quit. And Nicolan Escobar is living proof. The Instagram world may look like a place of filters and perfection, but behind Nicolan's presence is something real. The courage to be visible, the discipline to stay consistent, and the creativity to build a unique identity. That's why Nicolan's journey is more than fashion. It's a symbol of what happens when you stop seeking approval and start creating your own lane. And maybe that's why Nicolan continues to grow. Because people are tired of fake perfection. They want authenticity. They want confidence. They want someone who looks like they mean it. And Nicolan Escobar means it. As Nicolan continues to evolve in the fashion influencer space, one thing is clear. This is a name worth watching. A rising model personality with a strong digital footprint, an undeniable presence, and the potential to go far beyond Instagram. And the best part is, this story is still being written. The next chapter could be bigger collaborations. The next chapter could be major brand recognition. The next chapter could be runway opportunities, magazine features, or viral moments that push Nicolan into a global spotlight. But no matter where the journey goes, the foundation has already been built. Confidence, creativity, consistency. And those are the ingredients of greatness. So if Nicolan Escobar's story teaches us anything, it's this. You don't need the world's permission to shine. You don't need validation to be valuable. You don't need to fit in to stand out. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply show up as yourself and refuse to apologize for it. And that is exactly what Nicolan Escobar is doing. If you enjoyed this inspiring biography and you want more stories like this about Instagram fashion influencers, rising models, and digital trendsetters, don't forget to subscribe to Sweet Models World. Your support helps us continue sharing these journeys, spotlighting hidden talents, and celebrating the future icons of fashion. Because at Sweet Models World, we don't just follow beauty, we follow greatness. And Nicolan Escobar is only getting started.